So it starts off as a small little enticement, a good experience, and then it absolutely takes over the life. And those of us who aren't addicts, it's very hard to understand that unless you've sat in the dirt around fires or in different places and listened to these stories with an open heart and open mind for many, many years, as I have. Then you start to get it and understand it. But we can understand it. It is also a progressive. No, I said progressive. It's a chronic condition. Okay, once you pass that line into addiction, you don't get to go back. Chronic means it's a permanent condition. Okay, so our approach to, and maybe at some point in the future we will figure out how to go in and change people's DNA and do all these different things. Well, we haven't figured that out yet. So for right now, let's just say it's chronic. Once you're there, you're there. This also means that once you've crossed that line, you can't. I had a student tell me one time, John, I'm doing a lot better. I'm not doing heroin anymore. I said, well, that's great. He says, I just do crack now. I was like, oh, well, that's just great. So just exchanging one drug for another is not okay. And you can say you're a heroin addict, and I was just reading Eric Clapton's autobiography, and he was very addicted to heroin. He got off of heroin and he started to drink. Well, it's the same thing. And generally speaking, if you, for example, I have a loved one, a family member who very addicted to cocaine, and he doesn't just start on cocaine, he will have a drink first. And that starts the cravings for the cocaine. So once we'll talk about the neurobiology later, but once that part of your brain is hooked and affected, all of it, you can no longer safely ever use these substances again if you're an addict. Okay, you can't moderate. The true hardcore addict cannot, and you might get away with it once or twice, but you'll spin out of control. And another interesting thing about this is that, say you stop using drugs at this point, you go into treatment, and you know 8 weeks or however long your treatment, then you get out and you have a few more months. Well, people often tell themselves, wow, I've worked on my issues, I'm healthier, I've exercised, I'm healthy again, I feel good. It'll be different this time. I'm stronger now. I can handle it. Well, what happens is that even in your abstinence, it seems that the disease, in some mysterious way, which I don't understand the science behind, but anecdotally we know this, continues to progress. So when you begin again, you don't start up way up here. You actually start off lower than you were when you stopped, because it seems that addict part of yourself immediately starts to try to make up for lost time. So all the drinking you didn't do during your period of abstinence gets done in the next 2 days. And you're just, so it's very dramatic, very powerful. And often heroin addicts, because of the fact that you become progressively, you need more and more substance to get the same effect as you were getting. They will take a hit of heroin or inject heroin at the level they were doing before, and they no longer can handle it, and they overdose soon after treatment. So it's very, heroin addicts or loved ones heroin addicts, it's a very dangerous thing when you finish treatment, that you think you can use it at the same level, and you can't. Your tolerance level has gone down. So all that to say that it is a chronic condition, and once you got it, you got it. And it just, if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, if you lost your leg in an accident, it's just something you have to be responsible for.